Hi guys, we're going to go ahead and continue the oil pastel technique worksheet. For whatever reason, my video cut off when we started to do the tint with white, and I managed to do the entire worksheet without figuring out that it got cut off. So I'm going to start with a blank worksheet, and I will start with the tint with white. So a tint is a color from the color wheel plus white. So go ahead and pick out any color and then find your white. It's okay if it has another color on it. Typically, you can get a scrap piece of paper and clean that off so that you are not mixing the colors. For this, because this is just a worksheet, I'm not too worried about that. All right, so you're going to take a color and you can color it, medium to light. It doesn't need to be really, really heavy pressure. And you're going to go ahead and add the white on top. And this creates a tint, just like that. If you're doing colored pencil at your house, you can use the white colored pencil. It's not going to work as great as oil pastels, but you should see some different effect. All right, for a shade is a color mixed with black. So I'm going to use that same color, and I'm going to get out my black oil pastel, and I'll just color real lightly. Oops, wrong way. Color real lightly with the black first. And then I'm going to add the color on top. If you color with the black really dark, it's just going to look like black. Okay, it's not going to look right. If for whatever reason you mess up on part of your worksheet, you can just do the real one right next to it, and I will count that. That'll be fine too. All right, Graffito. These are both the same thing. So it says Graffito with end of paperclip. Graffito is a term used traditionally in Greek pottery, and it usually means to scratch away a surface and reveal the color of an underlayer. So they used to do this with some of their pottery, where they would fire the pottery when it was a whitish color, or even like a terracotta color, and then they would use black slip and basically paint the whole thing black, and then scratch out the designs to reveal the underlayer. Now, how is this going to work for our project? Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to use a paper clip, and I just bent the end of this out. We're going to use a paper clip to try and figure out if we can do maybe like hair that looks more realistic, or maybe feathers or other techniques. So I want you to find a couple oil pastels that are a darker color. So maybe I'll use brown. So I'm going to color this a little bit heavier just because I'm trying to get it more solid so that the white underneath is going to show. And then I think I'm going to do I'm going to do black. I don't think I've ever done black, so I'm just going to see how it goes. It's what they did in the Greek pottery, so there must be something with that. All right, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take my paper clip, and I just unfolded the edge, and I'm going to actually scratch some lines that look like hair. So I'm going to go through, and let's say I'm working on my real project and it's not looking like hair. I'm using the oil pastels, I'm doing the best I can, and it's not looking like hair. Well, you can use this technique to help you. So I'm just going to add in what looks, again, like hair as best as I can. It almost looks like it could be grass, too. All right, in the next one, I want to try something else. You don't have to do what I do here, but if you want to, you can. So I wanted to try like a feather. And so a feather, this is not showing up as well as I had hoped. A feather, you have a line, and then you have all the little lines that come out of it. It also kind of looks like a leaf. So it's very, very subtle. I don't know if I can get any closer with my document camera, and if you can see it. I'm trying to refocus it. I might have to click it one more time. Let's see. So you can see it a little bit in the picture. So I tried to make just like a line and then add in the scratch marks to make it look like a feather. So see if you can do that. I know it's super hard to see on the camera. Do the best that you can. Okay. All right. I'm going to move to the last row, and I'm going to do the first three. I'm going to need the primary colors, which are red, yellow, and blue. Those are the primary colors. What I'm showing you here is when you mix the primary colors together with oil pastels, you get secondary colors. So I usually start with the yellow, and it's okay if there's another color that's on it, it's mixing. So I start with the yellow, and I'll take the red, and I'll overlap it. Okay, now if it's too dark, you can take the first color, the lighter color, and go back over it. And sometimes that helps lighten it up to make it look a little bit more like that secondary color. All right, I'm going to try to get some of this reddish off of my oil pastel before I do the next one. All right, yellow mixed with blue equals green. So I'm going to do yellow about 3/4 of the way down. And I'm going to take the blue and I'm going to bring that up. And this is going to be, again, a little bit of a darker green. And I'm probably going to have to add yellow over the top of that again. Okay, now blue plus red. So I'm going to take the blue and I'm going to take the red. And I mix them in the middle. The last one's hard to do because we don't have a purple in these Pentel packs. We only have this like bluish purple. I wouldn't even call it blue purple. I think it's more just like a deep blue. And so we could use that and we could add the yellow. What I'm going for here is I want you to realize that colors across from each other on the color wheel, if they're next to each other in your project, they're going to make like a brownish. So I tried to add some red to see if that would help and make it more brownish. I don't think that helped. So what I'm saying is if you have orange and blue that are next to each other on your project, okay, they're across from each other on the color wheel, it might make a brownish. Okay, same thing with purple and yellow. What is my other one? Orange and green and red. So green and red, if those are next to each other on your project, they may make brown. I'm only telling you this to warn you, just to give you a heads up. All right, that's all. You can start washing your hands.